Nah, not for this edition. Hey, this is Mr. Griffin, and this particular edition of Random Thoughts is going to go up on both my Mr. Griff Rise channel and my Mr. Griffin channel. Depending on which one you see, you could be listening to one with my regular music, or you could be listening to the one or watching the one with a special open and some, yeah, I know, copyrighted music, but you know what? Hey, try to be all creative. Basically, the subject today is about why are people in general, but especially black people, so addicted to drama and shit that at the end of the day don't matter and quite frankly is none of their business. Now, this past Friday on my Facebook page, I did write something that I've been meaning to get off my chest for a while. And while most people got what I was saying, apparently at least one person it ruffled feathers. It was an old friend with benefits that I used to have a couple of years, about 2 years ago. And apparently she thought I was talking about her, even though I never said anyone's name and I wasn't pointing out anything specific. I was talking about just people in general in life, and black people in particular, who try to keep certain people in certain places within their community, but give respect to cats who, quite frankly, could give two shits about the black community. They're more worried about where they're going to get their next drink or their next hit of weed or how much trouble they can start with folks. They're not worried about changing the community at all, but they seem to get more respect than ones that either mind their own business, just go handle their business, do their job and go home, try to be a respectable person in the community, or even somebody that sincerely wants to change, but they getting no help. And they certainly not going to get help from City Hall, which is mostly white controlled, and the few blacks that are there, they're going to go along with the majority because they want to keep their position. But I digress. I'm getting into another subject altogether. But anyway, she got mad, talking about, unfriending, even messaged me and this and that, even though I never said anything directly about her. And I'm like, okay, this is the prime example of what I'm talking about. We worry about shit that at the end of the day don't really fucking matter. It really don't. I mean, why do I care who's fucking who? That's on him or her. Why do I care that they're driving around in a new car? I mean, it's like we are so beat up mentally, not just by white supremacy, but by each other. We're just so beat up mentally that we just gave up. And unfortunately, that's been passed on, because the younger kids who could want to stand up, and they're being shut down by people my generation and even older. What we need to realize is we're not going to be here forever. These younger cats are going to be here a while. So why don't we try to teach them lessons to be strong for themselves? Like the whole thing with Donald Trump. When he said what he said about the Latinos, say what you want about the Latino community. They didn't march. They didn't pray. They did sign petitions, but they did in conjunction with economic sanctions. And by that, what I mean by that, right after he said that, Telemundo, Univision, all these Latino entities, all these Latino people with clout and power all basically pulled money out from anything even loosely associated with Donald Trump. And they didn't wait. They didn't wait centuries. They didn't wait days. They didn't wait centuries. They didn't wait years. They didn't even wait weeks. They got in Trump's ass in days. And yes, he's tried to play it off and stuff, but you can't play off losing, and I've said this in other videos, you can't play off losing $70 to $100 million. I don't care if you are a billionaire, that hurts. And you notice he's backed off of that somewhat. Even though he's never apologized for what he said, he's backed off of that somewhat. That's probably why he's focusing more on going after other Republicans, because he knows, even though they're going to get pissed off at him, most of them are not really going to pull money from it. They're not going to pull money out of his pocket like the Latinos did. And I was like, okay, say what you want about them, illegal immigration and all that shit, they got their shit together. This is stuff we should have been doing a long time ago. But we don't, because we're either scared or we've been brainwashed to go along with the majority, or we're worried about, which is the subject of this video, we're worried about being seen and having attention. One of the things that I often get ragged on was like, well, Irv, we never see you. Man, you need to get out more and this and that. This is just bluntly, me talking bluntly. I don't give a fuck about being out. Yeah, once in a while I might go to the speakeasy, chill, take in the atmosphere and all that. But, as far as being out there, being seen, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about being seen. If it was going to accomplish something for myself personally, or even benefit my people, and yes, I'm being very specific. I know some asshole is going to come up here to talk about, oh, well, you should be trying to benefit everybody. Well, you know what? Here's my thing. The Latinos got their back up. The white folks got their back up. The Asians got their back up. We don't have shit. And quite frankly, we don't support each other as far as anything positive. But we'll come together to go to speakeasy and party and bullshit. And I'm not dissing, in case they see this, I actually like your spot. This isn't a diss on you guys directly, but rather the mentality of my people. Yeah, you'll come together for bullshit. You'll come together to rag on somebody. You'll come together to clown somebody, but you won't come together to actually build something that will outlast you and that will be there for your kids and grandkids and maybe even your great grandkids, and teach them to appreciate it and help build it up. See, that's why other communities are strong and we're seen mostly at large. There's select few in our community that are taken seriously, but the black community as a whole is seen as a joke. That's why we're seen as a joke. And quite honestly, if I was on that side and I was looking at black people, I'd probably be like, damn, y'all a joke. Why should I respect you? So, I can go into why this is being broke down and everything, but I'm trying to keep a certain focus here. And as it relates to me, I'm thinking to myself, I'm a grown-ass man. Why are you worried about what I'm doing, or worried about who I'm messing with? That's on me. Who I mess with is on me, okay? And here's another thing. We always go, especially if we can't come up with no good, logical, adult arguments, and I stress the word adult because we'll go to something childish like, oh, your dick is small. Oh, you ain't shit. Oh, or let's say you're dating somebody that's non-black. They'd be like, you're scared of a strong black woman, which that was another narrative that came from feminism and as a whole white supremacy. But again, I'm not going to go there. Or they say, oh, I know you might. In that one in particular, I'm like, really? I'm 40 years old. You can't talk to me like I'm a grown man? Really? And especially from black women in particular. I'm like, really? I mean, it's got to the point where even my own mother is now finally tired. Because back in the day, she used to tell me stuff like, oh, ignore it, it'll go away. And I've even told her, I'm like, Mom, I love you, but that was a mistake. No, that shit should have got shut down back then. And that's another problem with the black community. A lot. We don't shut shit down when it's starting to pop off on us. We want to fuck around and play around and joke around and bullshit about something when it needs to get shut down quick. Like all these killings that are happening, like Sandra Bland, who may or may not have killed herself. I personally still have my doubts. Or that whole thing with Sam Bosie up in Ohio, or back in the past, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, and all them. You know what? A lot of these killings would never have taken place if we had our shit together. Not saying it would have prevented all of them. Some of them would have probably still happened, but a lot of them would have not happened if we had our shit together. And I'm going to sound like somebody like the Black Authority or Tariq Nasheed for a second. If we had our code together. But we've been so brainwashed to go after each other, to basically act like children, and we don't even know it. And this ain't just guys my age or even younger. These are folks like 50, 60 years old still acting like kids. And they only want to be quote unquote grown when it's convenient. But we love coming out for attention. Like some of these cats that were flying the Confederate flag talking about, oh, we need to leave Southern heritage alone. Sit down. Sit down. You just want attention. And usually when I see somebody black doing that, I just don't pay them no mind. Because most of the time that's what they're after. They're not really serious about that shit. They just want attention. They just want shock value. And a lot of times, you know, when I found, you know, with my personal life, the reason people, and I'm talking specifically black people, I mean, there's been other races of people that have done this too, but talking specifically black folks here. They will say stuff out of pocket or real breezy to my ass to try to get a rise. And contrary to popular belief, I'm not a retard, I'm not stupid. And most of the time, I'm not going to try to trade words with you. I'm not going to try to trade barbs with you. Most of the time, I'm just going to go about my business because I know that's all you're trying to do, is trying to get me talking. And you're trying to get me into some bullshit argument that at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck about, isn't going to change anything, isn't going to fix anything. So, what I'm saying is, we need to quit having this obsessive need to be out there, to be seen, and to be attention, and it not lead to anything. Now, if you're out there trying to be seen and stuff, but you're actually trying to change something for, let's just say, the world at large, and for us in particular, okay, fine, I got no problem with that. But if you're just out there to be seen, no, let people like, and I'm not trying to bash any of these folks, but let people like Will and Jada Smith, let people like Nicki Minaj, let people like, let's say celebrities in general, let them, because that's their job, to be seen, you know, to help promote their next big movie or their next show or whatever. That's their job. Their job is to seek attention. Their job is to be seen. Let them do that. The average Joe, or if you got talent like that, you know, I could see that. But if you're just doing it just to be doing it, then you're just plain stupid. And you really need to look in the mirror and take a hard look and reflection on yourself. Anyway, I don't want this video to go too long, but that's my additional random thoughts. Black folks, we really need to break this code of attention and bury it, and get more of a code that's actually going to help us, that's actually going to better us, instead of, as in the words of Notorious B.I.G. in one of his earlier rap songs, instead of worrying about partying and bullshit. I'm out. I'm Mr. Griffin.
I'm getting money like I'm supposed to pay. I'm getting money like I'm supposed to pay.